Hello, YouTube brothers and sisters. Today, we are in Delphi tour through beautiful Greek village. Delphi is a place Greek god Apollo. But before that, my humble request to you is to kindly subscribe my channel. Let us start with what is inscribed on the steps of the Delphi temple. The Delphic Maxims are a set of moral precepts that were inscribed on the temple of Apollo in the ancient Greek precinct of Delphi. The three best-known maxims, know thyself, nothing in excess, and give a pledge and trouble is at hand, were prominently located at the entrance to the temple and were traditionally said to have been authored by the legendary seven sages of Greece, or even by Apollo. Three maxims are known to have been inscribed on the temple of Apollo at Delphi at least as early as the 5th century BC and possibly earlier. These inscriptions are routinely referenced and discussed by ancient authors. Plato, for example, mentions them in 6 of his dialogues. Their exact location is uncertain. They are variously stated to have been on the wall of the pronaos, forecourt, on a column, on a doorpost, on the temple front, or on the propylaea, gateway. Although the temple was destroyed and rebuilt several times over the years, the maxims appear to have persisted into the Roman era, 1st century AD, at which time, according to Pliny the Elder, they were written in letters of gold. These three maxims are 1. Know thyself. 2. Nothing too much. 3. Give a pledge and trouble is at hand. Now, let us know about Delphi. The pan-Hellenic sanctuary of Delphi, where the oracle of Apollo spoke, was the site of the omphalos, the navel of the world. Blending harmoniously with the superb landscape and charged with sacred meaning, Delphi in the 6th century BC was indeed the religious center and symbol of unity of the ancient Greek world. Delphi lies between two towering rocks of empty Parnassus, known as the Phaedriades, shining rocks, in the regional unit of Phocis in central Greece. Here lies the pan-Hellenic sanctuary of Apollo, the Olympian god of light, knowledge, and harmony. The area was inhabited in the 2nd millennium BC, as is evident from Mycenaean remains, 1500 to 1100 BC. The development of the sanctuary and oracle began in the 8th century BC, and their religious and political influence over the whole of Greece increased in the 6th century BC. At the same time, their fame and prestige spread throughout the whole of the then-known world, from which pilgrims came to the site to receive an oracle from the Pythia, the priestess of Apollo. A place with a rich, intangible heritage, Delphi was the center of the world, omphalos. In the eyes of the ancient Greeks, according to myth, it was the meeting point of 2 eagles released by Zeus, one to the east and one in the west. The magnificent monumental complex is a human-made environment in perfect harmony with the rare natural environment, the principal features of which gave rise to the organization of the cults. This harmonious relationship, which has remained undisturbed from ancient times to the present day, makes Delphi a unique monument and a priceless legacy bequeathed by the ancient Greek world to following generations. The Temple of Apollo, also known as Apollonion, was a major part of the pan-Hellenic religious sanctuary located in central Greece at Delphi. The temple and sanctuary at large were dedicated to one of the major Greek deities, Apollo, the god of archery, music, light, prophecy, the arts, and healing. There have been several temples built at Delphi throughout the history of the site, though the visible ruins seen in modernity are those of the temple built in the 4th century BCE before its destruction under the orders of Theodosius I in 390 CE. During antiquity, the temple was home to the famous Greek prophetess the Pythia, or the Oracle of Delphi, making the Temple of Apollo and the sanctuary at Delphi a major pan-Hellenic religious site as early as the 8th century BC, and a place of great importance at many different periods of ancient Greek history. References to Delphi, the sanctuary, the temple, and the prophecies of the Pythia are made throughout ancient Greek mythology and historical accounts from the periods of its use. The layout of Delphi is a unique artistic achievement. Mt. Parnassus is a veritable masterpiece and is where a series of monuments were built whose modular elements, terraces, temples, treasuries, etc., combine to form a strong expression of the physical and moral values of a site which may be described as magical. Delphi had an immense impact throughout the ancient world, as can be ascertained by the various offerings of kings, dynasts, city-states, and historical figures, who deemed that sending a valuable gift to the sanctuary would ensure the favor of the god. The sanctuary at Delphi, the object of great generosity and the crossroads of a wide variety of influences, was in turn imitated throughout the ancient world. Its influence extended as far as Bactria, following the conquest of Asia by Alexander the Great. Even pillaging of the sanctuary by the Emperor Nero and by Constantine the Great, who transported spoils from it to Rome and Constantinople, added to the artistic influence of Delphi. Delphi bears a unique testimony to the religion and civilization of ancient Greece. At the legendary site where Apollo slew the serpent Python, celestial cults replaced Chthonian cults and introduced the old heritage of myths originating from primitive times. The Delphic oracle, over which four sacred wars were fought, is one of the focal points of Greek political history, while the theater and the stadium, where the Pythian Games took place every 4 years, were places of community celebrations reflecting triumphant Hellenism. Delphi, situated in a magnificent natural setting which is still intact, is an outstanding architectural ensemble and an example of a great pan-Hellenic sanctuary. According to the ancients, the temple of Apollo was where the omphalos was located, that is, the navel of the universe, the center of the earth. Delphi is consequently directly and tangibly associated with the belief of manifest universal significance. The World Heritage Property contains within its boundaries all the key attributes that convey the outstanding universal value of the property. The place has not been altered through the centuries. The restoration projects that have been undertaken were of limited and small scale, and they were carried out in accordance with the principles of the Charter of Venice. Within the property, only the Archaeological Museum has been built, which is indispensable for the protection of the findings and for the adequate understanding of the sanctuary and its offerings. The broader area of Delphi, being a transformogenic geophysical area, in the periphery of the great tectonic fault of central Greece, has been faced with the same problems since the ancient times: earthquakes and landslides, erosion of soils and sedimentations, along with periodic vegetation growth and the ensuing fire risk. The monuments of the site meet the criteria of authenticity, since they have undergone mild interventions with absolute respect to material, form, and design. These consist of relocating ancient architectural material in its original place or of restoring the monuments by using mainly authentic material in order to obtain their original plan. Furthermore, ancient building material was used for the restoration of certain monuments and offerings of the site. The site still preserves the authenticity of the landscape. Modern visitors arriving along the Holy Road from the Roman market up to the stadium can perceive the same feeling as the person who visited the area in the antiquity. October to April is the best time to visit Delphi. Since it is UNESCO Heritage Site, you need to buy tickets online. Delphi is connected by the Athens by road. Now it is a time to say goodbye. See you in Egypt. Watch my videos on Luxor Tour, Egyptian Museum, Nubian Village, Kings Valley. Thank you for subscribing my channel.